All right, Purdue, Virginia Tech. We've got in this game, Virginia Tech 3-point favorites, 49.5 being the total in this game. There's a lot of people souring on Purdue. Clearly, you lose at home as a favorite to Fresno State, who are not starting over a quarter. I got to be impressed. As much as I did not like what I saw to Mikey Keene at UCF, he played a pretty damn good game last week for Fresno against this Purdue team. So I give him all the credit for that. Absolutely a solid performance, but maybe it's an indictment of Purdue's defense. Just could not get off the field at all. Their head coach, by the way, is very, very young as well. Keep that in mind. So it's fascinating to see, can he keep this train on the tracks here with the Boilermakers and not undo all the terrific progress and work that Jeff Brom did with this Purdue program over the last few years. So that's something to keep in mind. But that was an inauspicious debut for Purdue last week against Fresno State. Again, defense was just absolutely carved up. We'll see. Like I said, Ryan Walters is a very, very young head coach here. We know they have Graham Harrell as the offensive coordinator, and we know they're definitely a team that's going to play with some pace. And once again, we saw that. The air raid up-tempo offense that Graham Harrell has, North Texas, USC, doesn't matter where he's been as an OC, that's what you get. And look, for all things considered, I don't think you can blame Hudson Card too much, the Texas transfer. He played well. They moved the football last week against Fresno. They just couldn't get stops when they needed it. We'll see if they can bounce back here. It's not going to be easy. You've got Virginia Tech, who was a team last year where anything good they did was defense. It wasn't necessarily offense. They did get the win 36-17 in their opener last week against Old Dominion. Keep in mind, they did struggle early in that game. It took them a while to really get going offensively, Virginia Tech, but eventually they did. My favorite quarterback finally got it going in the second half. I'm being facetious, of course, when I say that. Grant Wells. We've ripped this guy more than a few times here on the Hitting the Book show if you've been watching the last couple of years. But he did what I expected him to do. And like I said, that's why I laid the points with Virginia Tech. Old Dominion's kind of rebuilding, not one of the better group of 5 teams this year. And Virginia Tech should be able to shut him down defensively. And even Grant Wells can do enough offensively to lead that team to a productive outing on offense and a point spread cover. And that's what we saw in that game. I don't have much here. I think the move to Virginia Tech, like this, jumped up quickly to -3 because they were laying, I think, 1.5 when this line opened, up to 3. People souring on Purdue. This is definitely one I don't want to overreact to because Virginia Tech played a team I'm not high on, Old Dominion. Purdue played a Fresno State team that I thought this year could have some trouble trying to replace Jake Haener, but Mikey Keene played well. And Jeff Tedford, say what you will, he's a pretty damn good head coach. And we saw that, had his team ready to go in a tough spot on the road, early start at Purdue, and to find a way to get that victory was very impressive. But I don't want to overreact to it because I think there's things to like about Purdue offensively. Coming into this season, I think they should be able to put up points, but now you're going to play a Virginia Tech defense that I think has the potential to be a pretty damn good defensive football team this year, and doing so on the road. Let's see how they fare in this type of matchup for Purdue. So I think if the line creeps any higher, maybe I get a little interested in Purdue, but not enough at 3. I would like a little more than that. What do you think here, Connor? Purdue, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Purdue at home. This is just, until its defense can change. We saw some of it last year, and they played to the over. And, man, that game was an easy over. And I look at this total, and unless they're going to change things around, we know Virginia Tech, not a high-flying offense, but, Old Dominion Fresno got that with Keene. You got to think even Grant Wells, we got to get, maybe get into the 30s here in this one. And you talked about Hudson Card was pretty good. So was the offense. It just wasn't great. They weren't efficient, and that ended up getting them in the game. They were a little bit sloppy in the end. Yeah, this is moved to 3. I don't love it. I think Virginia Tech could get the win. But man, I want to take this over. And obviously, Virginia Tech, you flip the other way, has been a pretty good under team, over last year. So, but at this number, I got to lean over here. Purdue, Virginia Tech.
All right, 49.5. It kind of feels low for a Purdue game, although Virginia Tech, we know, more so defense than offense last year especially, and maybe this year too. But you're right, for Purdue, 49.5, pretty low total. And again, that defense was just chewed up last week by Fresno State in that 39-35 loss that they suffered.